tale of two Americas.
Based in Colorado, and we are also operating in Oregon and Nevada, about to launch in 3 more states and probably another 5 or 6 by the end of 2018.
A teen accused of running a thriving online business selling pot brownies and other illegal treats is out of business and in jail.
They say they got a tip that 19-year-old Ade Simmons was selling the treats through posts on Instagram.
He faces several felony charges.
On the one hand, we have the weed industry on the West Coast, where decriminalization has turned the marijuana business into nearly $1 billion industry, with middle-aged soccer moms finding new and invigorating ways to incorporate the plant into their diets to kickstart a new fitness regime. Like Nancy Whiteman, who considers herself an accidental cannabis entrepreneur. She stumbled into life as a millionaire by selling THC-infused cannabis confections such as loaded sour fruit gummies, salted caramels, hot cocoa, and bright lozenge jewels. And then on the other hand, we have the South, where 19-year-old Ade Simmons from Douglasville, Georgia, is looking at 5 felony charges after a Fox undercover operation led police to crack down on him for the unforgivable crime of selling pot brownies and other treats over Instagram. Nancy Whiteman has made $1 million business off of selling edibles and was interviewed by Business Insider. Ade Simmons, another person selling pot brownies, was also interviewed by a media outlet, albeit under different circumstances. Whiteman tells Business Insider that she really didn't understand the power of what we were doing or creating, as she soars towards more than $12 million in revenue. Meanwhile, Tom Reagan, our trusted Fox reporter covering the J. Edgar Hoover-inspired bust of Ade Simmons, stations himself outside an emergency room.
People eat too much. It's called acute marijuana intoxication, and sometimes it can lead to a trip to the emergency room.
Reagan was eager to tap into the mass hysteria around weed consumption to really drive home the severity of the crimes committed by the 19-year-old who, by the way, sat in a Douglasville jail without bail, looking at a possible 10 years in prison. Now, there are many distinct differences between these two cases, none more important to this story than the fact that weed consumption is essentially legal on the West Coast. Though it may come as a shock to some, since the passing of Prop 64 in November, red-eyed burnout bohemians have not descended en masse on the lawns of Griffith Park, nor have masses of wasted youth in irreversible states of hysteria flooded the cities, despite what our Douglasville anchors would have you believe. Instead, soccer moms are flocking to the fucking Hollywood Hills to practice yoga and get high. Meanwhile, in Georgia, we see yet another black male circling the drain for doing basically the same thing as our West Coast entrepreneurs. The devil's advocate response, which many armchair crime experts online have already made, is, well, the difference is it's illegal. Well, it was illegal in California for decades also, and the damage it did to countless young men and women, particularly of color, doesn't justify sentencing someone to a lifetime in and out of the justice system. This is why state officials in California are now looking to right the wrongs of the past. With the state on the verge of legal recreational marijuana sales starting in January 1st, thanks to a lesser known provision in the new state marijuana law, hundreds of thousands of convicted criminals could have their drug convictions wiped away. It is estimated that in the past 10 years, there have been over 500,000 arrests for marijuana offenses in California, and up to 1 million people have reviewable convictions on their records. Hell, 587,000 people in the US were arrested for just possessing marijuana in 2016. That's more than the number of people arrested for aggravated assault or rape or murder combined. Ade Simmons broke the law, and he shouldn't have been selling to high schoolers. I'm not saying his offenses should go unpunished, but 5 felony charges while criminals like Brock Turner get damned detention for committing rape? Come on, people. Follow me on Instagram at Francis M. Maxwell, and on Twitter also at Francis M. Maxwell. Like and share the video. Continue to resist.